Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you watched the previous video. Now, in this video, let us explore few more options which are present under Amazon Athena. You can see we have already seen how to do SQL queries by using Amazon Athena. From this option, we just clicked on query editor and we selected whatever the data source we want, and we even selected the work group. Don't worry, I'll explain you what this work group is, how to create it. Then after selecting this work group, then we choose in some data source. Then here we return our query and we just clicked on run so that our query will be executed. An external table will be created and we again queried that external tables, right? Yes. So now we have seen from here, right? Yeah, let us see from a Athena dashboard. This Athena mainly allows you for two things, for two types of queries. What are the two types of queries? It allows you for SQL queries, Trino SQL queries, and for PySpark SQL queries. Spark SQL queries also it allows you if you want to analyze your large data by using PySpark or Spark SQL queries, then you choose this. Previously, we have seen this and we have analyzed our data by using SQL queries. When do we use these SQL queries? Or if we want to analyze some small amount of data, that means big data, if we want to analyze, then we use these SQL queries. Let's say if I want to analyze a large amount of data, that is up to petabytes of data, in that case, in that scenario, we need to choose this PySpark SQL. Whereas in this PySpark SQL, we get notebooks which are same like this Jupyter notebooks. You can see how it will be. You can even implement this matplot on your notebook that you're gonna create from PySpark. You can see you also have an option called notebook editor. Let's see when I click on this, when I if you want SQL editor, then click on this and just launch query editor so that your query editor will be launched. For that you need to configure some things, and then here you need to configure some details and run your queries directly as we see in the previous video. Now let's say if you want a notebook editor, or you can say if you want to query your data by using PySpark SQL queries or Spark SQL queries, then click on it, click on launch editor so that it asks you some details regarding what is the notebook name we want to put, under which work group we want to put to that notebook. That also we need to configure. And we also need to provide a service role for authorizing this Athena to perform your queries. And you need to provide the name, and you can even see the permissions that we are allowing by creating this new service role. Then at last you can see you need to create a new S3 bucket, or if you want to store your calculations under existing bucket, that also you need to select. And then at last you have an option that is create. So if you just click on create after selecting these options, your notebook will be created and it will appear here. It will appear here in this format. In this format, it will appear here. Now, here you can able to write your queries. Then you can able to run your queries. So in order to run, you have an option like this. You just click on run so that your query will run. Your query will run and you'll get the output after running this query. You can see the query has run and you got the output. So for your sake, I'm running again. I'm just clicked on again run. So you can see I got the output. So in this way, you also write the queries in the notebook that you created. Here you got the notebook, which will be same like this. Jupyter notebook, and then there you need to enter your Spark SQL queries and you can run your queries there. So by using that, you can able to get the result, intermediate results. So one more important point here is to provide, in order to provide extremely fast results, this will store what this notebook editor, or this notebook editor will store your results in-memory cache. So what are the query that you execute? You got some results, right? Yes. So those results will be stored under in-memory cache. So that will provide you extremely fast results. Let's move back with options. So you have seen query editor, that is for querying by using SQL queries, querying your data by using SQL queries. Now you have also seen notebook editor. This notebook explorer will provide you what are the notebooks that you created. Those all will be present under your notebook explorer. There you can able to explore all your notebooks. You can see work group. So this is the important one. On the work group only, you will create either SQL query engine or PySpark query engine, that is notebooks query engine, or this SQL query engine will create on top of this work groups only. You can see I have one. So let us see how to create one more. So while creating, it will ask you which query engine you want. That you need to select. If you want SQL query engine, then select this. If you want Apache Spark query engine, then you select this. Here you also have version selection option also. So if you select Apache SQL, then you have option to select manually or automatically upgrade workspace version. If you select Apache Spark, then you can see the version. You can able to provide the engine version as well. Then you have an option called, then you have multiple options, right? Yes. Let us explore. You can see here IAM role configuration. So in order to provide permission to this Apache Spark, to this Amazon Athena, in order to perform those queries on S3 bucket, it requires permission, right? So for that, create and use a new role. So that's why it was selected by default, and we provided the role name like this. By default, it was provided. And you can see encryption. So notebook and calculation codes. So whatever the notebook that we created, that as well as the results that we are calculating, if we want to encrypt, for that, you can able to provide the option. Here encryption option also available for storing my results, right? Yes. That you need to understand here. We can have chance to encrypt our data as well. So calculation result settings. So for calculated results, where do you store? You have to store in any one of the S3 bucket, right? For that, if you want to create a new bucket, then select this. If you want to choose the existing, then select this and provide the bucket name. If the bucket is from another user, that means cross account, another account, then you need to provide that user ID as well. That means by using this Apache uh, Amazon Athena, you can able to provide, or you can able to send the results of querying your S3 data to another accounts as well. You can able to store your data in your bucket or another accounts bucket also. Sometimes it might happen that the another person who is having their own AWS account, they require the results of some particular website of yours. So in that case, if you want to share or if you want to directly create Athena query for them, then you can use their ID and provide your results under their S3 bucket as well directly. And you have an option for encrypting query results as well. If you want, you can enable it and encrypt the query. If you don't want, then just disable it. So you have option to select the destination bucket as well as encryption of your results. Then you have other settings as well. These are optional. Amazon CloudWatch. If you turn on this, then metrics from this workshop will be published under your CloudWatch. If you turn off this, then it won't publish. If you want to have some metrics, then turn on this under CloudWatch. If you want, you can able to add tags as well. Up to 50 tags, it will accept. So basic things you need to provide under Workbench is you need to provide engine name, which engine you want, Athena SQL or Apache Spark. You need to provide the work group name. You need to provide work group name. I have provided work group 1 as this name, and you need to select the engine, any one of the engine based on your need. You want SQL, select it. You want Apache Spark, select it. So if you select Apache Spark, so previously we have already seen about Athena SQL. If you want, you can select this Apache Spark, and then that's it. By default, every configuration will be there. If you want to provide encryption, then just click on enable here and provide which type of encryption you want, S3, SSC encryption or SSC, KMS encryption that you need to provide. Then you can have option to choose your KMS key as well if you have, or else if you use AWS own KMS key, then you need to select this. So then that's it. You just click on create work group. Then your work group will be created here like this. Here like this. So previously I have created already one work group for SQL queries. After creating this work group only, after creating this work group only, you can able to edit your queries. If you want to edit by using SQL queries, then you need to choose your work group as SQL engine. Then you need to choose your analytical engine as SQL. If you want, if you want to provide Apache Spark or Spark SQL queries, then you need to create a work group. Then you need to create a work group for this Apache Spark engine. Then on top of that work group only, you can able to create your notebook editors. On top of those notebook editors only, you write your queries. So there you will run your queries on top of that notebook. So these are the things that you need to know. You can even see the capacity reservations from here. You can click on create capacity reservation to provide a specific capacity of DPU amounts you want. Minimum you need to enter 24 DPU units. You have data sources. So what are the data sources you have? If you want to create another data source, then you can have to chance to create your data source. So select the data source. Let's say this is my data source. Then just select this and then just click on next. Then you have entered data source details. So data source name that you need to provide, and a lambda function also you need to provide for this data source. If you select another, then the options may be different. Another data source. You can see it was asking for you to create the crawler. So like this, you can create one data source for you. So I'm just going back. Since I'm already created AWS data catalog data source for me. So this is about data sources and work groups. On top of these work groups only, so you can run your SQL queries or Spark SQL queries. If you want to run SQL queries, then you need to create which type of work group. you need to create SQL workgroup, Athena SQL workgroup. If you want to run Spark SQL queries, then which type of workgroup that you need to create? Apache Spark engine workgroup that you need to create. So on top of that, you need to create some notebooks. On top of that, you need to write your queries under this notebook, and you need to run like this in this way. So that's it. You need to select that particular node, that particular row, and then just click run, so that your query will be run under your PySpark. So this is what the thing is. Yeah. At last, you can see the pricing as well. This is very important. So currently I'm in present in this region. So that's why it is showing me this prices. So if you want other location prices, then you need to select your location in wherever you want. Let's say I want to see Mumbai region prices. So that's why I clicked on there. So here you can see everything is not available because it's a newly launched availability zone. There, AWS will provide you limited number of services. You can see SQL queries per TB scan. It will charge you $5 per TB, and Apache Spark calculations, it will charge you $0.45 per DPO hours. Yes. So if you move on to North Virginia, since it's a first launched place, it contains all the services and all the details about it. So in addition to that, it also have SQL queries for TB scan, SQL queries on provision capacity. If you provide capacity to run your SQL queries, for that you will be charged per hour, per DPO hour, you will be charged $0.3. So this is all about Amazon Athena. I hope you understood other more options. Few more other options which are available under this Amazon Athena. I hope you understood this video of how to create a work group, and on top of it how to write a notebook, how to create a notebook, and where we can explore those notebooks. So those details I hope you can understood from here. I hope this video is contentful. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye guys.